Rise our friends and welcome back to the studio. And today we're joined in the studio by a world champion, friends. Now this lady is in the studio to tell us all about your life. Geraldine Finegan. Friends, check out this lady, Geraldine Finegan, 12 times world champion.
That's right.
And you're only back from South Korea with 6 medals after winning the world indoors. You've been training in Iceland just the other day. And you've in around 3,500 medals. 3,500. Now this lady should be paraded up and down Hill Street. I have to say, no, really do commend you, Geraldine. I've been watching you training. We're talking earlier on about you training even over in the meadow back in the day, and you haven't stopped training, have you?
No, the secret is not to stop.
Just keep going.
Just do a little bit, even if you're not. If you've got a cold or a flu, you just adjust and you just do a bit of weights in the house. You just keep going.
Now, 12 times world champion.
Yeah.
What a hero. Unsung hero, by the way. I mean, this girl, come on. You're on the Banter show. Tell you what, Kevin, can we give her a round of applause, please? Live on the show. Honestly, you deserve it. So, you're training in Iceland as well.
Well, I train everywhere, but just last week was Iceland. There's some very good coaches there for pole vault and an ex-Olympic decathlete. So he coaches me when I really need it, and I have a really good sponsor in Iceland. Needless to say, I have no sponsors in Ireland.
You've no sponsors in Ireland?
I have one German sponsor in Frankfurt, and I have one in California in the USA.
Wow.
NHT.
Big shout out to all your sponsors there.
Yeah,
well, I have to say, somebody round Erie at least, listen, 12 times world champion.
Irish, British, European and world.
And you represent the whole country.
Well, I represent women and even I'm a mother as well, and it's good for women out there to know that just because you've had a child or you're married or whatever, you're working, you can still be the best that you can be, and the best I can be is world champion.
Well, you are the best.
Oh, thank you.
You are the best. Geraldine, it's amazing to have you on the show. I'm a bit dumbfounded that you haven't been on the front page of any of the local press or,
Yeah, well, I think Irish people tend to wait until people get more recognition worldwide before they realise what they've got. Like, I was thinking actually in mind of the Cause years ago from Dundalk, because I'm
Yes.
from Dundalk originally. My parents are both from Dundalk. And the Cause weren't known in Dundalk, although they were famous internationally. It was only when they got international fame and got international recognition that the Irish people said, oh yeah, they are good.
Yeah.
They're ours, and they recognise you either when you're dead or when you've made
That's
it.
when you usually get all the recognition.
Yeah.
but fortunately, you haven't got to that stage yet. No, you're still in the top of your game, really, aren't you?
I'm actually getting better. I'm now
with age. You're getting better.
Yeah, like a bottle of wine.
There you go.
I get better.
And big shout out to all our Dundalk friends, by the way.
Yeah.
Big shout out, big riser and all. I've loads of
I
friends.
actually run for a club in Dundalk called North East Runners. It's a great wee club,
Wow.
There's no tracks in Dundalk, so we train on the road. But there's a great,
There's not many hills in Dundalk either. It's a nice flat area, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't need hills really. I live on top of a hill, so running up and down my hill, 12 or 15 times is enough.
Unbelievable. Any bit of wonder you're fit. So tell us this, strict diet.
No, not strict.
Do you just eat
a
and
diet.
burn it off?
Look, an Irish fry is good. Your beans and your eggs. Limit your pork products, but it keeps you full all day. You don't need to eat till 4 o'clock. So once or twice a week, a fry's okay. It does me. It's what's fueling me. Eggs are great. You need plenty of greens. Plenty of spinach in the morning. That's what I had this morning. Spinach and eggs most mornings. You can have it with your omelette, a poached egg. Eggs are protein, strengthens the muscles.
Eggs Benedict. Very good, yeah.
Lovely.
Eggs and spinach.
Yeah, your cereals are okay, and your porridge is a bit better, your oats. Some of your cereals have a lot of sugar. No bread. You need to cut the bread. Irish people take a little bit too much bread. The flour has no vitamins, no minerals, no good for you. It just fills you up.
What about brown bread?
No bread at all.
No bread at all?
No bread at all. See that?
Right. Well, I take my porridge every morning. Porridge, honey, bananas, sprinkle of coconut,
Yeah, sprinkle a bit of flaxseed. That's good for
Flaxseed.
Your joints.
Right.
If you're going to stay, fluent as you go older, you need to keep your joints. I'm very lucky. I'm a nutritionist and a physiotherapist, and I get a lot of supplements. given to me to try, and they're really good. So
Wow.
omega is like your fish products.
Yeah,
Like your
omega
fish
3 and that there. Right, get back on to, let's talk about Geraldine Finegan. So how long did you start, Geraldine? When did you start all this fitness,
I suppose I started at 14, and then I started to get a bit good at 16. I got my first medal at Leinster level over 400 metres in a club called Mount Pleasant, just outside Newry.
Oh, Mount Pleasant,
Yeah.
yes.
And then my father wasn't well, and I was focusing on sort of looking after him because he had cancer. I had it in the stomach, and I missed a lot of sessions and a lot of training, but I was still improving. So at 18, I got a lot better. I won an All Ireland champion, and then my dad died at 18, and I left. I just completely sort of lost it then, and went away from athletics completely, and that's probably why I didn't make it to Olympic Games or World Championships at an earlier age.
Mhm.
Plus there was no tracks. So we've only got two
Yeah.
recent tracks now in Bush out in Glenmore, and here now in St Coleman's in Newry.
Yeah.
So there wasn't facilities, and I used to train on the road, jumping over boxes and jumping over washing baskets because I was a hurdler. And still am a
Ditches and
hurdler.
all that. And
Yeah, just
Yeah.
take whatever you need. You just take your hat with you, and you take a bottle with you, and you just got the rhythm of jumping. It's not really important, and it's not a good enough excuse to say, well, I haven't got a javelin or I haven't got a shot put. You just pick up a stone, you pick up a stick, and you make do. That's what you did years ago, and that's what I did.
yeah, simple but it worked.
Mhm.
Simple but effective. So tell me this, what about training facilities in around Newry?
Well, we have a new track in St Coleman's, but it's
Yeah.
only open at 5:30 in the evening, which is very poor because when you want to train twice a day, you can't get out to the track to use it. You have equipment there, but again, I do pole vault, and they haven't got any poles, and they haven't got any mats to land on. So thus, I have to go to Iceland to train for pole vault.
That's unbelievable.
My sponsor has actually just agreed to pay for a pole, which is about £300. It has to be transported. I was number 2 in the world for pole vault, and
Wow.
I actually broke the Irish record when I was away in Iceland, but we can't count it. So I have to wait for a competition, and I have to travel to a competition.
Ah, come on, this is unbelievable.
So we're way behind. We're way behind.
So you're a sportswoman and you can't even get the training facilities
But
here in Newry.
you know what? The council should be approaching me for my opinion, because they have a track and they don't know what they need. They don't know about facilities, that we need as athletes. We need an indoor facility. We need gyms that are properly equipped. That we have 2 or 3 gyms, but I have to say some of them are very limited. You need boxes, you need ropes, you need all the little gadgets to be better.
To be successful. Well, I have to say, if anybody in the Newry Morning Down District Council is watching, this girl's a world champion. 12 times world champion. It's just not just, you don't bandy about world champion status like that, because think about all our boxers, Belfast, Dublin and all our great boxers, they're top of the game.
Yeah.
You're the top of your game, and you should be supported wholeheartedly.
I'm running 34 years, and I've studied sports science here in Newry in the college, and as I say, I'm a nutritionist, physiotherapist. I have all the qualifications. Nobody has ever approached me. Nobody's asked me to coach from the council. Nobody from Newry. I actually coach voluntarily up at the track when I'm.
Wow.
And parents have seen me and would approach me and say, could my son or daughter join?
Well, tell me this, Geraldine, how can anybody contact you?
I have a website, so they
You have
go
a
on the
website?
website, geraldinefinegan.com.
We'll
Go
get it up
online,
here.
text me if you need help with your diet, need help with exercise, if you're thinking of starting a gym, if you're, especially the counsellors, because it's the counsellors that I'm here to try and wake up, because they've done nothing for me. In 2000, I got a certificate for being a personality twice, for 2 years in a row from the council, and it was great to get a certificate and a nice meal in the Canal Court. But I mean, come on, what can I motivate the next up and coming kids that are 14 or 15 or 9 and 10? What can I say is out there for them? Is there a free gym? Is there a free use of the swimming pool? No. Is there free use of the track as world champion?
Come on, give them free training, for goodness sake.
If
they're going to the level that you're going to, yeah.
But even if they win a national title, give them something. The counties should step up. In England they have it. They have free use for people that are top 6 in the country, never mind in the world. People have statues here, for doing small feats. Unless I start asking for it, and it's not that I want it for me, But what happens for the next generation, for your kids and for
Well,
the
you want to leave a
grandkids?
legacy, don't you? Really?
Well, I want to start saying to people there needs to be some sort of motivation, and it's not money in your pocket. It's use of facilities that's going to make you a better person and a better athlete.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what is it to use a swimming pool? It's recovery for an athlete. And I was over in the swimming pools in Iceland, and they have 6 jacuzzis all outside, no chemicals, and each pot gets hotter from 37 to 42 degrees.
Wow.
We have nothing like that in this country.
Yeah.
But it helps the athletes. They have cryotherapy, which we don't even know about. We have, I think, 2.
Well, that's
Northern
freezing,
Ireland.
isn't it? Cryotherapy,
Freezing in a fridge.
Yeah.
We have it in a pot here where you stand in cold water, but ideally athletes should be in a fridge type
scenario,
yeah, where it's
Wow.
really, really cold, but it helps recovery. We're way behind. We're way behind. And then there's people out there saying, like, sure, who have we got in Ireland? You know, what's the point of having it? But sure, how are we going to have athletes? You know, how can I make an athlete if you don't give me the facilities and don't give me motivation?
Well, that's it. And I'm sure there are people crying out to get involved in athletics. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there. I'll tell you what, if there is people out there, get in contact with this lady, because she's at the pinnacle of her career, really and truly. You've been at 35 years. I mean, that's a long time, and you're still as fit as a fiddle.
I'm still going and going strong, getting faster, and
Getting faster.
getting
This is
faster,
brilliant.
getting stronger. I was nominated this year by an American company. It's worldmasters.org, and they've nominated me as the number 1 athlete, masters athlete in the world, and that took in 15,500 masters athletes from Asia, Europe, Africa. If you go online, you can see it.
And they named you the top.
And I'm the number 1 in the world, most improved masters athlete. You know, put it down to dedication or commitment or the great supplements I'm getting. You know, this company that's from America that I'm taking is giving me great stuff, and it does help. But you still need to go out and do the training, and we have no facilities. We have no professional coaches in Ireland. So what is it? You know, the Irish spirit. We have a great Irish spirit. We're fighters, and I'm a fighter.
Indeed, the sport in Irish. All Irish clubs out there, please get in contact with Geraldine. We're going, by the way, we're putting this out on Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Plus. It comes out everywhere. So please do. I mean,
well, it's not just athletics either. You know, any sports can benefit. You know, if you're a football, if you're a rugby player,
exactly.
All sports benefit from nutrition. All sports benefit from knowing how to avoid injuries, because you know the secret is not getting injured.
Yeah.
You know, people will say to me, how are you doing this? Well, it's not just your supplements and taking the right supplements at the right time and the right ones for you. It's avoiding injuries, what exercises to do for that. I'm an exercise specialist, so I can say to people, this is what you need. Like, for example, if you're sitting here crouched over, you should be taking your hands behind your back.
There you go.
Throwing your shoulders back. There you are. We've cured you already.
Oh, feel better already. There you go. That's only a 1 second consultation.
I won't charge you for that.
No, she's not going to charge. I'll not charge you for this either. But no, you should get the record. Come on, people out there, businesses, counsellors. Let's get together and celebrate what this lady's done, because you're.
I have wrote to counsellors. My mother's even wrote, because she was so proud, and she got no word back and said cutbacks.
Yeah.
But you know, it's about the next generation. If they don't see that there's some sort of a reward for the top athletes. You know, when I was out foreign in Korea last week at the World Championships, they were almost bowing at my feet, asking for autographs, asking for photographs. You were treated like you were, you know, Madonna. You were really a superstar, because you were the top athlete in the world.
Madonna of the track and field.
Yeah.
You liked that one, didn't you?
I haven't got that big pointy bra. I'm working on that.
We'll one over in the corner. We'll get it on you now in a minute. All joking aside, Geraldine, I'm gobsmacked that you're not getting the recognition, but
it's disappointing.
hopefully you'll get a bit of recognition out of today's Banter show. So 12 times world champion. You've just come back from Korea. South Korea was 6 medals from the World Indoor Championships.
Yeah, I got the most medals individually. What I mean by individually is people win a medal in a relay. There's a 200 relay, you know, and you can get a relay medal in a cross country race. But all mine were individual events. So to get 6 medals, I actually had to compete in 14 or 15 different events, because there was quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals. So, for example, if I did the 400 meters, that was 3 400s I had to run to win. If I did the 800, which I was second in to a Polish lady and third to the Canadian lady, I had to run 3 800s, you know. And then I do pentathlon, which is 5 events, and that's all in one day, 5 events. And on that day that I did the pentathlon, I had to do the 60-metre hurdle heats and I had to do the 400-metre finals.
Way.
So it's no easy feat, you know, getting these medals. It is a lot of dedication and hard work.
But that's what your life's all about, isn't it? Dedication and hard work.
Well, anyone can do it. It just I've just got into the habit of getting into a good routine, and it means sometimes missing dinner at dinner time and missing, you know, family affairs when there's maybe a wedding on. You have to pass it over and maybe run in and give a present and run out because you have some competition on.
Literally, isn't it? That's literally too. That's unbelievable. Really is. What if clubs get in contact with you? Are you available to go and consult with them? And
well, next week I'm in New Zealand competing, but after that I'm more than happy to go in and even give a talk on, for example, if they had an open talk on what to eat before a competition, what to drink, or if they wanted to ask questions about like tight hamstrings, could you give us 5 exercises? You know, I'll get up and demonstrate them if they wish, or if they have sore backs and are constantly having injuries, you know.
Yeah. So you're off next to New Zealand then?
Auckland, yeah.
Auckland, New Zealand, and that's incredible. You're all around the world, aren't you? Really?
Well, that's the perks of it, that you do get to see a little bit, but you usually only see the track because you're resting and preparing for it. But you get a flavour of the food, a flavour of the people.
Yeah.
And that's something in itself. And I get to learn a bit of the language. I speak 7 languages.
You couldn't beat that, could you?
You've got to speak to your opposition and at least wish them the best of luck. And
well, that's good, yeah. That's through sporting.
That's the Irish nature.
That's the through sporting ethic there, right there. Well, tell you what, it's been an absolute blast to have you in the studio. Will you come back in again and keep us updated?
I'll take you my medals and I'll show you my medals.
There you go.
Maybe it'll motivate some young up and coming
I
children.
think we'll need a JCB or something to get all these medals. There's over 3,500 medals, friends. This is unbelievable. Bootsy Fairn, he'll be jealous. He loves his medals. And all the Davy Geary as well. Well, Geraldine, listen.
Thanks so much.
It's been world champion. We'll have a world champion in the studio, friends. This is brilliant. Really is.
I have to get you training. You know, move your legs as you're sitting.
Right, tell you what, me and Geraldine's going to go for a run, friends. You know they'll crack. Razor, give them all a razor, Geraldine. Razor, see, she knows it too. World champion, Geraldine Finegan. Thanks for coming in. Friends, we'll be back soon. And by the way, today's show is sponsored by Pat Hannah Fuels. Top of Courtney Hill, Newry. Razor, we're out of here.